making headlines. The President conveys his assurance that the diplomatic ties between the Maldives and Bahrain are positioned for significant enhancement. The Vice President emphasizes the need for a just climate transition to limit global warming and protect marine biodiversity. Maldives condemns the decision by the Israeli government to approve the expansion of illegal settlements in the occupied Syrian Golan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to PSM News in English with me, Hafiz Abdusattar. And now the news in detail. President Dr. Mohamed Moise conveys his assurance that the diplomatic ties between the Maldives and Bahrain are positioned for significant enhancement and will attain new levels of cooperation and mutual benefit in the foreseeable future. The statement was made in his letters sent on the occasion of Bahrain's National Day. In letters addressed to King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and Prime Minister and Crown Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, President Dr. Moise extended greetings and best wishes on behalf of the government and the people of the Maldives. In his letters, President Dr. Moise noted the warm and brotherly relations of friendship and cooperation between the Maldives and Bahrain, expressing optimism that these relations would continue to flourish. He also extended his best wishes for the good health and well-being of both the King and the Crown Prince and for the continued progress and prosperity of the people of Bahrain. Bahrain's National Day is celebrated annually on 16th December. Diplomatic relations between the Maldives and Bahrain were established on 24th March 1980. President Dr. Mohamed Moise calls on the staff of 3 ministries which were severely affected by a fire on 12th December to work with renewed hope and vigor despite the loss of invaluable equipment and resources.
President Dr. Mohamed Moise calls on the staff of 3 ministries which were severely affected by a fire on 12th December to work with renewed hope despite the loss of invaluable equipment and resources. The fire, which erupted early Thursday morning, caused extensive damage to the building housing the Ministry of Housing, Land and Urban Development and the Ministry of Construction and Infrastructure. The adjacent green building, home to the Ministry of Climate Change, Environment and Energy, also sustained damage. An office of the Malé City Council was located in the affected building. In the aftermath, services and operations of the affected ministries were suspended. The work and services of the 3 ministries have since been relocated to Darbaruge Convention Center in Malé. During a visit to Darbaruge, President Dr. Moise met with the staff of the 3 ministries, urging them to work with increased energy, determination and enthusiasm. He inspected the efforts made to relocate and recommence the services of the ministries and met separately with the management and staff. President Dr. Moise characterized the fire as a deeply impactful event for all the staff, highlighting the destruction of a significant number of government documents and personal belongings. He expressed his gratitude to the staff who had worked tirelessly to ensure the continuity of services provided by the ministries. Regarding a permanent solution, the President stated that he is considering relocating the services of the 3 ministries to a government building instead of renting a place. Citing the challenges faced by approximately 500 staff members working in the same location, President Dr. Moise announced that the government is actively seeking solutions to ease their situation. He assured that despite a shortage of computers and other equipment, the government is dedicated to finding resolutions. Efforts are also underway to build a cafeteria, additional toilets and a parking area in the Darbaruge grounds. President Dr. Moise also advised the staff to be patient, friendly and work as a single team. Authorities are working to see if the servers affected by the fire can be recovered. President Dr. Moise assured that even if the servers are not recovered, the government will find a way to recover the lost documents and information through other government ministries and agencies. He also visited the Galar Madrasa building to inspect the relocation of documents and equipment belonging to the Malé City Council.
President Dr. Mohamed Moise appoints Fuad Tawfiq is the Maldivian ambassador to the Kingdom of Thailand. The appointment was made on Monday with President Dr. Muiz presenting Taufik with his credentials during a ceremony held at the President's office. Fuad Taufik brings a wealth of experience to his new role. Prior to this appointment, he served as ambassador at large at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Additionally, he has had a long and distinguished career with the ECM. Fuad first joined the Commission in 2008 as a member and was appointed as its president in 2009. He served in this capacity until March 2014, after which he resigned. In 2019, Fuad returned to the Commission and has since made significant contributions as its president, earning recognition for his leadership and efforts in overseeing a transparent and successful electoral process. Vice President Hussein Mohammad Latif emphasizes the need for a just climate transition to limit global warming and protect marine biodiversity.
Vice President Hussein Mohammad Latif emphasizes the need for a just climate transition to limit global warming and protect marine biodiversity, crucial for the blue economies of vulnerable states. He made these remarks at the opening ceremony of the 3rd China-Indian Ocean Region Forum on Blue Economy Development Cooperation in Kunming, China. The Vice President highlighted that the ocean has sustained the livelihoods and shaped the identity of Maldivians as the children of the sea for centuries, and that fisheries and tourism are primary income sources for the Maldives. He noted that tourism and fisheries industries are heavily impacted by climate change, marine pollution, and illegal, unreported, and unregulated IUU fishing, adding that it threatens fish stocks, coastal livelihoods, and food security. He further pointed out Maldives' traditional ethical fisheries such as pole and line fishing, which ensures zero bycatch and no harm to marine habitats. Vice President Latif further stressed that small island developing states like the Maldives bear a disproportionate climate burden despite minimal emissions. He emphasized the Maldives' efforts to adapt to and mitigate climate change impacts with limited resources. He also highlighted President Dr. Mohammad Muiz's ambitious plan to scale up climate action, commitment to sustainable development by utilizing the blue economy. Before concluding this statement, Vice President Latif stated that China remains a reliable partner to the Maldives through a strong bilateral relationship and expressed gratitude for the continued support of China for the development of the Maldives.
Maldives condemns the decision by the Israeli government to approve the expansion of illegal settlements in the occupied Syrian Golan.
Maldives condemns the decision by the Israeli government to approve the expansion of illegal settlements in the occupied Syrian Golan. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs in a statement has said that the Israeli government's decision marks a blatant violation of international law, relevant United Nations Security Council and General Assembly resolutions, and further undermines ongoing efforts towards peace in the region. The statement said that the government of Maldives calls upon the international community to take immediate and decisive action to compel Israel to cease its illegal settlement activities and end its aggression on Syrian territories. Further noting that the Syrian Golan has been occupied since 1967, the Maldives urged Israel to adhere to the relevant United Nations resolutions, including Security Council Resolution 497, 1981. The Maldives also reiterates its firm and principled position in support of Syria's sovereignty, independence and territorial integrity, and the government fully supports all regional and international efforts aimed at restoring peace, security and stability in Syria, while ensuring the aspirations of its people are realized. Maldives' condemnation came after Israel's government on Sunday approved a plan to double the population of the annexed Golan Heights, just days after its troops seized a UN-monitored buffer zone bordering Syria as rebel forces moved on Damascus. The Golan Heights is a mountainous region at Syria's southwestern edge, most of which was captured by Israel during the 1967 Six-Day War and later annexed. It is separated from the Syrian side by the UN-patrolled buffer zone.
Minister of Health Abdullah Nazim Ibrahim says that the government is aiming to eradicate mother-to-child transmission of diseases like HIV.
Minister of Health Abdullah Nazim Ibrahim says that the government is aiming to eradicate mother-to-child transmission of diseases like HIV. Speaking during the ceremony to mark this year's World AIDS Day, Health Minister Nazim hailed the launch of 3 specific guidelines for the treatment of diseases such as AIDS as a significant achievement in the health sector. He said that the health sector ensures that people with such diseases are being given the necessary protection, compassion and care through the system. The minister stressed the importance of early detection of AIDS and urged people to get tested as soon as possible if they suspect the disease has been contracted. He added that such issues can only be overcome if the whole country works together as one. Minister Nazim also announced that Maldives would be able to reach its aim of eradicating mother-to-child transmission of HIV, syphilis and hepatitis B by the end of next year. The minister said the national health goal can only be achieved with the advice of professionals and scientists. Pointing out the recent nationwide ban on vaping and electronic cigarettes as an important step, the minister expressed hope of full cooperation from the public in such efforts for a healthy Maldives.
The Ministry of Higher Education, Labour and Skills Development reveals that 2,116 students have registered in the Register of Students Studying Abroad. The ministry launched efforts to compile a register of Maldivians studying abroad, which was designed to include both government scholarship recipients and students studying privately. It said more than 2,000 students have registered as students studying abroad thus far. As such, the ministry disclosed that 2,116 students have registered since the register was opened. The register includes 915 male students, 1,201 female students. The ministry said that these students include students on bilateral scholarship, government scholarships, government loans and students studying at their own expense or through other private means. It further noted that the purpose of the register is to facilitate the monitoring and management of students studying abroad. The Ministry of Islamic Affairs confirms that a record number of people will leave for Umrah this year.
In recent years, the number of pilgrims from Maldives seeking Umrah pilgrimage increases each year. But in December, Saudi Arabia is set to receive a record number of pilgrims from the island nation. Umrah is a sacred journey that holds immense significance in the hearts of all Muslims. It is a beloved sunnah that offers a unique opportunity to refresh one's faith and cleanse one's soul. The number of people going for Umrah pilgrimage in Maldives has rapidly increased in recent years, which includes young people and children. It is also common for entire families to undertake the blessed pilgrimage. According to Maldives Airports Company Limited MSCL schedule, so far 5,796 pilgrims will travel to the blessed city of Mecca to perform the pilgrimage this month. The first group departed for Mecca on Sunday, while the last group will depart from the Maldives on 27th December. The Ministry of Islamic Affairs said the average for Umrah pilgrimage in December is usually around 4,000 people. Though it was difficult to say exactly how many Maldivians will perform the Umrah pilgrimage this month, the ministry confirmed that a record number of people will leave for Umrah this year. There are currently about 50 Umrah groups registered in the country. However, some people do not travel through a registered group. So, some Umrah groups have said that about 8,000 people from the Maldives are estimated to go for Umrah pilgrimage this December.
Maldives Marketing and PR Corporation MMPRC signs an MOU with the privately run ADK Hospital to promote the medical tourism offerings of the Maldives. The agreement was signed on behalf of MMPRC by CEO and Managing Director Ibrahim Shuri, while ADK's Managing Director Ahmad Afal signed on behalf of the hospital. Speaking after signing the MOU, MMPRC MD Ibrahim Shuri noted that Maldives has been offering luxury tourism services for a long time. Shuri said that the tourism industry will continue to diversify its tourism offerings to include medical tourism to enhance the country's popularity as a global travel destination, as well as support the development of the country's healthcare infrastructure. Under the agreement, MMPRC and ADK Hospital will work together to promote Maldives as a destination for high-quality medical services. MMPRC said that the partnership will also aim to boost the contribution of medical tourism to the country's economic growth and provide international standard health services to tourists. Meanwhile, ADK Managing Director Ahmad Afal said the hospital aims to attract tourists to Maldives' natural beauty alongside world-class health facilities and quality medical treatment through its collaboration with MMPRC. And now we'll take a short break for Isha prayers. Stay tuned.
ඒරෙග්ග දුනියග නජ ಹುಟ್ಟಿಫಾವಾ ಪೊಡೆತಿ ಮಸಲ್ತ
Cero votos en contra.
ಎ ಮಸಲ್ತಹುಗೆ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಫಹುಗ ತಫ್ಸೀರ್
is fundamentally different from past provinces.
ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಫುಣ ದಿರಾಸ ಕುರುವ ಪೊಯ್ತು
ದುನಿಯೆಗೆ ಖಳಿ
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة والدرجة الرفيعة وبعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته وارزقنا شفاعته برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. وصلى الله على محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
කදේමෙන් දෙමියුණ හම සාබස්සිගේ මමියුණනි කදේමගේ ෆාහතුල් නේරිගෙන් දෙමියුන් හොරියාර බිරු වාතක්කමෙන් අලනි කනාතක්කමෙන් අලනි දෙමියුන් කරමියකෝ වාහක දක්කමුන් දක්කමුන්ගස් එහා මුහිම වාහකේ බෙජ්ජා ගේතරේගේ මේසෙක්කාරි ඉත්තාලයාගෙන් ගොඩියගේ ඉත්තාලයන් වාහක දක්කම් මීනු හම සෑකලු ගම තිදනි රාරාගුණි එහෙන් ගම මෙහර තිත් දෙමියුන්න සම රංගලන් ඉංගේන දෝ එත බයක රටතරේගේ දුබ්බන් චෙහෙක එකි ගෝලිතක එමෙ හොරියා එම්මෙ සඳාන් කොරම්බි කාරි කාරිගේ තින් සපන් හතර සපන් හදාන රටතරේගේ නුදුබ්බම්බි පහත් එකක එකක ලයින් හදාගෙන රීච දියා මික නිමුනිනු පස්සේ වාංගුයි කමෙන්නු
Welcome back to PSM News in English, and now we will continue with the news. Bitcoin surges to a record high today after President-elect Donald Trump suggested he plans to create a U.S. Bitcoin strategic reserve similar to its strategic oil reserve, stoking the enthusiasm of crypto bulls.
Bitcoin surged to a record high above $106,000 after President-elect Donald Trump suggested he plans to create a U.S. Bitcoin strategic reserve similar to its strategic oil reserve, stoking the enthusiasm of crypto bulls. Bitcoin, the world's biggest and best-known cryptocurrency, hit a high of $106,533 and last traded up 3.2% to $104,462. Smaller crypto Ether rose 1.5% to $3,965. Investor sentiment also got a lift from the inclusion of MicroStrategy into the tech-heavy Nasdaq 100 index that will likely lead to more inflows for the software firm turned Bitcoin buyer. Bitcoin and crypto have been catapulted into the spotlight as investors wager the incoming Trump administration will usher in a friendlier regulatory environment, boosting sentiment around the alternate currency. Bitcoin is up 192% for the year. According to data provider CoinGecko, governments around the world held 2.2% of Bitcoin's total supply as of July, with the United States possessing nearly 200,000 Bitcoins valued at more than $20 billion at current levels. Meanwhile, data site Bitcoin treasuries showed that China, UK, Bhutan, and El Salvador are the other countries with significant amount of Bitcoins. Other countries have also been considering cryptocurrency strategic reserves. Bitcoin has surged more than 50% since the November 5th election that saw Trump elected along with many other pro-crypto candidates. The total value of the cryptocurrency market has almost doubled over the year so far to hit a record over $3.8 trillion. Trump, who once labeled crypto a scam, embraced digital assets during his campaign, promising to make the United States the crypto capital of the planet.
Medics said Israeli strikes in Gaza killed at least 53 Palestinians, including a journalist and rescue workers.
Medics and fellow journalists said that an Israeli airstrike hit the civil emergency center in the Nuseirat market area in the central Gaza Strip, killing Ahmad Allo, a video journalist for Al Jazeera TV, and 5 other people. According to medics, another strike on a house in Nuseirat camp killed 5 people, including children. The TV network said Allo was working when he was killed and condemned Israel. The Israel military said the strike had targeted Hamas and Islamic Jihad militants operating from Gaza's Civil Defense's Nuseirat office. Hamas media said that the head of the Civil Emergency Service in Nuseirat was also killed. One Civil Emergency Service member told reporters at the hospital that the Civil Emergency Headquarters in Nuseirat camp was hit during the crew's presence and that they work around the clock to serve the people. Another airstrike hit a group of men tasked with protecting aid trucks west of Gaza City, and medics said several were hurt, but exact figures were unavailable. Medics and residents said that at least 11 people were killed in 3 Israeli airstrikes on Gaza City houses. 9 were killed in the towns of Beit Lahia, Beit Hanon, and Jabalia camp when clusters of houses were bombed or set ablaze, and 2 were killed in Rafah.
Australia's Travis Head and Steve Smith gives India a repeat of their nightmare in the World Test Championship WTC final.
While racking up centuries and a 241 stand in the third test at the Gabba on Sunday, Australia's Travis Head and Steve Smith gave India a repeat of their nightmare in the World Test Championship WTC final. At the Oval in June last year, the pair combined for 285 runs in the first innings to set a platform for Australia's maiden WTC title, Head smashing 163 from 174 balls, while Smith played the patient accumulator in his 268 ball knock of 121. The pair replenished their roles on Sunday, Smith making 101 of 190 deliveries and Head racing 252 at nearly a run a ball. Jasprit Bumrah dismissed them both after tea, but not until the pair had batted through the entire middle session to undo India's positive start of 3 morning wickets. Head celebrated back-to-back hundreds, having smashed a match-winning 140 in the pink ball test in Adelaide, and posted his 9th test turn to continue his role as India's nemesis. Smith, who shrugged off a dire run of scores and snapped his longest streak without a century, said that he has been feeling good the last few games, although he hasn't managed to get in and get into his work.
I felt like I was moving into the ball nicely, and obviously had a bit of luck early on, which I think you need on these surfaces to score big runs, and rode that, and then obviously had a great seat in the house to watch Travis go about his business again. It was a great partnership, and it felt a lot like the World Test Championship final in a way. The way he came out and just smacked it, and I could sort of take second fiddle and do my thing. So, it was a really good day.
India's bowling coach, Mohan Morkel, praised the duo's innings but said that the Rohit Sharma lead team needs to work better on their game plans. With the series level at 1-1, Australia finished day 2 at well in front of 405 for 7 after rain restricted them to 28 for no less on day 1. Victory at the Gabba would put Australia within 1 test win of sealing their place in the WTC final, while taking India's hopes of reaching the decider out of their hands.
And that's all we have for this hour. Thank you for watching. Wish you all a very pleasant time ahead.
मी ज़मान तक वंदन हल्लु नुवै गेतोरुगे मसले ताबद इरादु कविया हल्लु दिंदान हल्लु कोद्दे
ಅಳಗಣ್ಮೆಂಗೆ ಮೀ ರಾಜ್ಯಗ ತರಗ್ಗಿಗೆ ಗಿನ ಮಶ್ರೂತಕ್ಕೆ ಕುರಿಯಂಗೆ ಬಗೆಂದೆ umrani taragige daira in rajeg eki kankortaw gapuriyata mashrutoge emme fahuge tafsilata
runway mi unnani maaganu ko timba yaka bahala fa
me mashrut